morning, my peoples. Good morning, my peoples. Coming in with you, short video. I just wanted to let y'all know that still going along my journey, as y'all can see. And like I said, I was gonna share something with y'all. I just, really had to get myself together before I got on live today. What I wanted to let y'all know was, I fell into a little slump this morning, and meaning that I kind of like got to like a low point, you know what I mean? I got to a little low point this morning. And as I'm at my low point, remember, I was telling y'all that when the ancestors speak to you, they're going to speak to you. When these people speak to you, your ancestors, they're going to speak to you in such a way where I'm trying to tell you, like, it's really, really direct and straight to the point. And so I fell into a little slump this morning where I got to thinking about Junior. And it was like, because of what I know, the ancestors would try to keep me back on track. So it's just difficult. Like I said, it's when you know the things that I know, for me to feel the way that I feel, the ancestors just have a way of putting it to you so direct, and it just stings, man. It stings, but you know that they right. So I'm sitting here, and I'm just gonna tell you what I heard. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just tell you what I heard. So I'm sitting here, and I was really low, you know what I mean? And I was in a low vibrational state because I was thinking about Junior. Ancestors come to me and basically tell me to get up. It was like, it's pretty much like nothing that I was going through, because more than likely I'm thinking on a physical end, and the ancestors not working on that realm. It's like, I'm not dealing with you on that realm, okay? I'm not dealing with you on that realm. We over here, okay? This is where we at. And I'm telling you, I'm feeling low. I'm feeling low. You know what I mean? And when I tell you low, I'm talking about super low. You know what I mean? The ancestors came to me, and this is what they told me, man. And I hate to say it, but this is the type of stuff that you're going to hear. They told me, they said, what are you still worried about? Why are you still feeling low? They said, you have one less mouth to feed. You have one less person to clothe, one less person to teach, and this person is on this side teaching you. And that kind of made sense. And so when they said that he's on that side teaching me, which he have, because when I became like this right here, feeling like this right here more stronger, was when I lost him on a physical end. And so they said, well, he's over here helping you. You don't need to help him anymore. And so what are you doing? This is what the ancestors are saying. What are you doing? Get up, move. Go do whatever you need to do. This is what they're saying. You know this. And that was really hard for me to take. But like I said, is when you down is when it's going to really hit you. And like I said, for the mindset that I was in at the time, had anybody would have said that right there to me, I would have had something to say about that, because you never know what mindset I was in. I was in this mindset by myself, y'all. And when that right there came to me, it was like a hard pill that I had to swallow. And it wasn't nothing that I could do about it, but eat it. And that right there just happened. That just happened right before I got on live. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm working through it. I'm working this journey out. Like I said, I'm about 5-6 months in, not seeing my son. And like I said, I still have those slumps. I still have those slumps. You know what I mean? I still have them. And I had one this morning, and like I said, man, them ancestors come through on you on your slumps, and they really hold you accountable. And when I say they hold you accountable, not that you did anything wrong, but it's like, you know this. You know this. They not there to pat you on the back, for sure. Not there to pat you on the back. I don't know what ancestor this is of mine, but they ain't playing no games, Jack. They not playing no games. I don't know who this is, but whoever this is, they not playing no games with me. They not giving me the pass on nothing. I ain't getting the pass on nothing. And don't care how down I feel, because they know it's only physically. Where they at, it don't feel that way. So they can care less about how I feel physically. And that's what I'm coming to grips with. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to grips with, they don't care how I feel physically, because I know what's going on spiritually. And because I know that when I fall back inside my physical grief, they there to not, they not there to rub me on the back and say, everything gonna be all right, baby. Come on, just pick your head up. And no, I'm telling you, from like the way that it came to me, it was so raw, man. I ain't playing, I'm already thinking and I'm, not really at the highest level of energy. And then for you to come to me and tell me, well, that's one less child you gotta raise. That's one less child you gotta feed. That's one less child you gotta clothe. That's one less child you gotta teach. But more so, he's on this side helping teach you now. I had to let that sit in. And that's what I'm saying, man. It be truths and stuff like that right there that you just gotta eat. You gotta eat, and you eating this right here by yourself. That's what I'm saying. Other people don't understand this right here. For people that's going through grief and lost a loved one that was really close to them, a child or something like that right there, the type of grief and the type of discipline that these people are doing with themselves, nobody would never understand that magnitude but them. You see what I'm saying? Because they the ones that have to deal with that, and they deal with that alone. And again, there's nothing that nobody could say or do. And the person that's going through this knows that. You know what I'm saying? They know this. And that's why it's like, when you feel like there's nothing I could say to this person, I ain't know what to say to this person. That's because you don't. Because that person don't know how to feel. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult for a person to feel like that. But once you know, things beyond the physical eyes, you tend to not want to look at things again from the physical eyes. Because over there, when you put on the spiritual eyes again, though, that right there is a lot more calmer than what you can see with the eyes. This stuff right here will tear you apart, man. These physical eyes will rip you apart, man. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't want to feel in that slump. I don't want to be in that slump. So in order for me to get up out that slump, what I got to do is at this point, I got to force myself. Remember how I told y'all before how I felt stagnant, and it just felt like I was just being pressured down. Like no matter how much I tried to move, I couldn't move. No matter how much I intended to get something done, I couldn't get it done. That right there was one of those moments this morning. Only this time when the ancestor came to me, they told me to get up off my behind. They wasn't nice with it like that, but they told me to get up. What are you doing this right here for? Pretty much you doing it to yourself again. Again, this is what they saying. You doing this to yourself. You already know what's up. You already know what's up. You doing it to yourself. See, it's like to me, the ancestors don't care about grief. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, because see, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing either though. Because see, here's what that does. It sharpens you up. It makes you stronger. This is what I'm getting out of it. It makes you stronger when you have to face those things head on and have to really push through them. When you pushing through the rougher times and you got to depend on yourself to push through those rougher times on your own, it strengthens you. You know what I'm saying? It strengthens you. The hard obstacles and stuff that you have to go through, man, it strengthens you. But I'm telling you, it's like when you down like that, it seems like the pain is turned up. So by the time you get out of that while the pain is turned up, it's like you almost immune to that pain again. That's what it almost feel like you almost immune to that pain again. It's like when you get into that slump, you're going to go lower into that slump. You make you feel like you're going lower into that slump. But when you come up out of it, you ain't going to want to go back in. Hopefully you don't want to go back into that slump again. And I feel like it's made, or, in some type of divinity, for it to be that way, to help navigate you out of that if you don't want to feel that. Because only the people that want to feel that goes right back into it. And in cases you feel like you can't help it. But then that right there is where the ancestors come in at. You see what I'm saying? That's where the ancestors come in at and say, nope, 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 nope. And now you got to listen to that, because if you go against that right there, what tends to happen is you're going to be right back in that rut. Like what I like to call a rut. You're going to be right back in that rut, man. And I'm telling you, man, it's not as easy as it might look. I don't know if I make this look easy or not, but it's not easy as it might look. You know what I'm saying? Because it's difficult. It's difficult to force yourself to have to do this. And this right here is like a transition type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Transitioning from what I always knew to something that I have to come back to. You see what I'm saying? It's like a transition, man, and that transition can be tough. That transition can be tough. I'm going to try to make the best of it. I'm going to try to make the light of it. I know it's going to get better. And now it seems like I understand why like I said, I'm teaching myself something. I understand why I would get caught up in something like that, because maybe it is to make me stronger. Who knows, man? Who knows? But one thing I will tell y'all, whatever ancestor or ancestors I got that's over here ain't playing around, Jack. They not, they like drill sergeants when it come to my grief. You know what I'm saying? They drill sergeants. They ain't taking nothing. They not taking nothing. They don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest with you. They just don't want to hear it. They don't care nothing about no tears. They don't care nothing about no sadness. They don't, because on the realm where they at, don't none of that stuff exist. That's probably what that is. That's why. Because where they at, none of that stuff exists. So they can care less about the way I feel on the physical end. They trying to say, it's like trying to get your spirit together, man. Keep on going and get your spirit and stuff together, but you falling back down into this slump right here, and it make our job harder when you do that. So before we let you do that, we'll chew you out and make you feel bad first. We'll break you all the way down. You want to keep on? Nah, I said, come on. That's pretty much the message that I get out of it. So it's not necessarily a bad thing what they're doing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I kind of see what's going on. And when I know that, that's the reason why I feel like they might be so tough on me. That's the reason why I feel like they might be so tough on me, man, because they know that I know this. And I know that they know that I know this. I tell you, man, it take a tough individual, man. This is definitely not for the weak. I don't know how strong you got to be to do this right here, or how much more stronger you got to be to do this right here. But I'm telling you, it is definitely not for the weak. I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. And like I said, if anything else come to mind, I will chime back in and tap back in again. Go to my YouTube page, Hey Uncle Ronnie, on YouTube, because Facebook is only allowing 30 days worth of video footage. You don't get a chance to choose, or at least me. I don't get a chance to choose no more, whether I don't never want to delete it 6 months or, 30 days, whatever. It only give me a 30-day option. So in order for me to keep my videos, I have to put them here and over there as well. So y'all go over there to Hey Uncle Ronnie on YouTube and subscribe on that page, okay? Because eventually I'm going to stop posting here and I'm going to start going over there, okay? So please do that if y'all get this right here video. Y'all have a good day, okay?